Dear learners, welcome to video lecture series 15 for BFS semester Political Science in the paper of Introduction to the Political Theory. I am Dr. Deepak Kumar Kashyap, Assistant Professor at Pandit Sundarlal Sarma Open University. Today I will be presenting on the topic social contract theory, which is considered one of the most influential and widely discussed theories explaining the origin of the state and the relationship between citizens and government. This theory played a crucial role in the development of modern political thought and helped to shape ideas about political authority, individual rights, and the legitimacy of government. According to social contract theory, the state did not originate from divine will or through the use of force, but instead it was created through a voluntary agreement among individuals who decided to come together to form an organized political community. In early human society, individuals lived in what philosophers described as a state of nature, where there were no formal laws, government, or institutions to regulate human behavior. In such condition, underneath this presentation, I will discuss the meaning and the concept of social contract theory, this its historical development, and examine the major contributions of these key thinkers and explain the importance and relevance of the theory in modern political systems. Understanding this theory help us better appreciate the foundations of modern democracy, the concept of consent of the governed, and the ideas that political authority ultimately originated from the people themselves.
Contract theory, which is the one of the most influential theories explaining the origin of the state and the relationship between citizens and government. And this theory suggests that the state was not created by divine power or force, but through an argument among individuals who wanted to establish order and protect their rights. Social contract theory is a significant concept in political philosophy and political science. It explains how people moved from a condition without government to an organized society with laws and institutions. According to this theory, individuals voluntarily agreed to create a government in order to ensure security, justice, and social stability. The question arises among the learners that what is the social contract? Basically, the social contract is a theoretical agreement among individuals to form a political society. And it also, in this agreement, people voluntarily give up some of their natural freedom to a governing authority. In return, the government promised to protect their rights and maintain peace and order. And this agreement forms the foundation of political authority. In historical background, social contract theory developed mainly during 17th and 18th century in Europe. This was a period when people began questioning the absolute authority of kings and demanding greater political participation. Philosophers began exploring new ideas about human rights, freedom, and the role of government in society. In early 1600s, we can see the rise of Enlightenment thinking, where philosophers began challenging divine rights of kings. Then the three political philosophers, which is connect with social contract theory. First is the Thomas Hobbes, second is the John Locke, and third is the Rousseau. In his book, he give a detailed view of social contract. The three major thinkers, John Locke, Hobbes, and Rousseau. In Thomas Hobbes, in his book, he argued that in John Locke, in his book True Treatise of Civil Government, he championed natural rights and the right to revolt against tyranny. And third is the Rousseau. In his book Social Contract, he emphasized the concept of popular sovereignty and the general will of the people. If we talk about the social contract thinker who said that the about a common thing about the state of nature. The state of the nature, it refers to the condition in which humans lived before the formation of government or political institutions. In this situation, there were no laws, courts, or authorities to regulate behavior, and people were not free to act according to their own styles. But this freedom often led to conflict and the insecurity. The first social contractualist thinker is the Thomas Hobbes. According to him, the state of nature is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and the sort. And according to him, human beings are the naturally selfish and driven by the self-interest. In his state of nature, this leads to constant conflict and insecurity. And Hobbes famously described life in these conditions as solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. To escape this chaos, people agreed to give absolute power to a strong ruler who could maintain peace and order. Hobbes believed that once people created a government through the social contract, they should obey it completely. He argued that a strong and powerful government was necessary to prevent society from returning to chaos, and gave name is Leviathan. Leviathan supported an absolute monarchy or a powerful sovereign authority. Second, John Locke. John Locke gave his view in social contract theory. Unlike Hobbes, John Locke believed that humans are generally rational and capable of cooperation. He believed that the state of nature was relatively peaceful, but conflict could arise because there was no authority to settle disputes. Therefore, people created government to protect their natural rights. Locke basically described three types of natural rights. First is the right to life, second is the right to liberty, and third is the right to property. He believed that government are formed to mainly protect these rights. If a government fails to protect these rights or abuses its power, people have the right to replace that government. Then we can come in third political Western political philosopher, social contractualist thinker John Rousseau. Rousseau had a different perspective uh, for Hobbes and Locke. he believed that humans were naturally good and peaceful in the state of nature. According to Rousseau, social inequalities developed when private property and social institutions emerged. The social contract, according to him, was meant to create a society which is based on equality and collective decision making. Rousseau introduced the concept of the general will, which refers the collective will of the people. In this system, laws should reflect the common interest of society rather than the interest of the individuals or rulers. This idea influenced modern democratic system where a deeper expressions are legitimate and laws are the serve only private interest are tyranny. He talked about a popular sovereignty and so he advocated equalities before law and he wants that people are directly participate in democratic system. If we compare the three political philosophers which support the social contract theory, if we take the five dimensions that how these three thinkers are thinking about their circumstances and that time. In first dimension, we talk about the human nature. The Thomas Hobbes, according to Thomas Hobbes, the human nature is selfish, competitive, and violent. Where John Locke's give view that the human nature is rational, cooperative, and moral. And the Rousseau's argue that the human nature is naturally good and corrupted by the society. If we talk about the second dimension, the state of nature, according to Thomas Hobbes, the state of nature is war of all against all, where John Locke viewed that the state of nature is most peaceful but uncertain, where Rousseau's state of nature is innocent and free. According to Thomas Hobbes, the third dimension, the purpose of contract is to ensure order and escape from chaos, where John Locke wants protect natural rights, where the Rousseau's purpose of contract is restored freedom through equality. The fourth dimension, the ideal government, according to Thomas Hobbes, the ideal government is the absolute monarchy, where John Locke's ideal government is limited or representative government, where Rousseau's ideal government is direct democracy. And fifth dimension, what are the right to revolt against state or not? According to Hobbes, there have no no right to revolt against a state because obedience is absolute. Where according to law, there have a right to revolt against state because if rights are violated. In Rousseau's concept, yes, there have also right to revolt against state because if general will is betrayed. If we talk about the criticism of social contract theory, despite its enormous influence, social contract theory has attracted substantial criticism from philosophers, historians, and political scientists. And these critics do not necessarily invalidate the theory insights, but they highlight important limitations that the students of political science must grapple with. Despite its influence, social contract theory has faced criticism. Criticize argue that there is no historical proof that people actually made such as contract, and this theory is mainly hypothetical and philosophical. Additionally, the development of states was influenced by many complex factors such as culture, economics, and history. Lastly, we concluded that in social contract theory explains that the state originated from an agreement among individuals who wanted security, order, and protection of their rights. The idea of Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Rousseau have greatly influenced modern political system and democratic governance. Thank you. Thank you so much.